The storm is coming. The Imperial throne lies empty. The scent of war swirls in the air. Evil awakens. A long-vanished foe stirs. Those who would destroy TutorIal seek out dangers to their dark plot. It is the 582nd year of the Second Era. The drums of war are sounding. This is where our journey begins.
You're awake? Oh, thank the stars. There you are! On your feet. I know magical translocation can really upset the stomach. Just take a moment and get your bearings, all right? The Isle of Bolfiera, home of Clan Berini. I apologize for the cramped accommodations. We pride ourselves on courtesy, but circumstances here have taken a turn for the bizarre. I needed to make sure you weren't a danger to yourself or others. You might not be so eager to escape once you hear what's going on. You arrive via a portal, along with a Daetric beast called Shiazel. It seized control of our golems and unleashed them on the island. If I free you, will you help me stop Shiazel? Wise choice. Just give me a moment. There. That should unlock the door. When you're ready, follow me. There you are, free as a spring cricket. I hope you intend to keep your word. We'll need each other out there. Of that I'm certain. The name's Norianwe, by the way, of Clan Berini. Pleased to make your acquaintance. We're bound for a place called the Keyrights Gallery. But first, I need to know you can defend yourself. Hurtling through the Orbis and falling flat on your ear left you a bit scattered. Find a weapon, and we'll work out the cobwebs. Fair? Of course. I can't promise total transparency, but I'll be as forthcoming as I can. The Keyrites Gallery is an ancient substructure of Bolfiera Island, built long before my clan arrived. On account of all the doors, the gallery's full of ancient gates, each with some arcane connection to places in Tamriel and beyond. Once the gates came to life, rifts opened. You fell out of one of them. The Daedra, shy as hell, emerged from another. I cast an incantation of the steed, snatched you up, and fled as fast as my feet would carry me. I heard the Daedra cursing, followed by some kind of explosion, but I didn't look back. I hope the gallery is still standing. Nothing irresponsible, if that's what you're asking. I'm a member of Clan Dorini's intelligence guild, the Cinderil. More scholar than spy, I assure you. I was conducting some research in the gallery, then pop! You and that monster arrived. The gallery's always been a place of special interest for the guild, but we never quite cracked how it worked. Despite the dangers, this is our greatest breakthrough to date. The guild master will be ecstatic, provided we get it under control. Would it frustrate you to hear that I have no idea? We Doreni are cautious by nature, so the Isle of Bolfiera has many defenses. Magical stone guardians protect many of our sacred sites, but somehow this Daedra found a way to turn them against us. Ugh, do I have to? If I recall my studies correctly, I'd say it's a harvester, a huge serpentine creature that feeds on souls and magicka. If it finds a way to consume the energies of the gallery, we will be in very serious trouble. Choose any weapon that strikes your fancy. I can't speak to their quality, but they seem sturdy enough to dispatch a beast or two. Larger weapons like staves and great axes will take both hands to use. You can pair smaller weapons with a shield, or another weapon of that size. The choice is yours. Yes, I think that one suits you. If you change your mind, feel free to take any other weapon you want. Now, let's find a spot to practice. Nothing prepares you for moments like this. I'm glad you're here with me. This is as good a place as any. Now, prepare yourself while I conjure up a dance partner. Let's begin. Quickly now. Top marks! Well done. Now faster. Impressive. That's brilliant. Now do it again. Ready yourself. Quick, strike while it's off balance. up the defense. Use your heaviest attack. Raw strength, that. Wonderful. Block its strike. Strike hard, now. Now some foes will try to restrain you. Quickly, break free. Ha! You're unstoppable. You ready to break free? You broke loose. Again, make ready. You're every bit the warrior I thought you'd be. Now bash the construct before it strikes. Again, now press your advantage with a heavy attack. Powerful strike. Again, hold its attack. Expertly done. Swiftly now, interrupt it. When your enemy prepares an attack, strike. Interrupting their attack will set them off balance. Good, now destroy it. Well done. Come speak with me for a moment. With moves like that, the Daedra doesn't stand a chance. Yes, I'd say we're ready to set out. To reach the Keyride's gallery, we have to make it out of this ruin and across a wide field full of the golems I mentioned. With any luck, we'll be able to slip past them. But I'm not all that lucky, so I'm sorry in advance. Well, it begins with a door. The first of many. The only way to access the gallery is through a mysterious gateway. Once we pass through that initial door, we'll step into a huge vault. This is the part that worries me most. I believe Shyazel, the Daedric creature that's causing all this mischief, may have nested itself in there. So be prepared to fight. I can't say anything with certainty, but ridding the world of an otherworldly abomination can't hurt, right? Its influence might linger for a time, but the golems should return to normal before too long. Hopefully. Very well. Step back and I'll summon another guardian. Let's begin. Quickly now, strike the construct. Hit it again! Well done! Brilliant! Now do it again! Ready yourself. Quick, strike while it's off balance. That's the way. Well done! Protect yourself. Give it everything you've got. That's the way. Well done. Keep up the defense. Strike hard, now! Now some foes will try to restrain you. Quickly, break free. You broke loose. Prepare yourself. Ha! You're unstoppable. Again, make ready. You're every bit the warrior I thought you'd be. Now back again. Now press your advantage with a heavy attack. That was quite a blow. Interrupt now, before it strikes. Interrupt now, before it strikes. When your enemy prepares an attack, strike. Interrupting their attack will set them off balance. Good, now destroy it! Let's be on our way. A word of warning, though. Some of the golems may wander the halls ahead. There shouldn't be many of them, but as my master used to say, well, it begins with a door, the first of many. The only way to access the gallery is through a mysterious gateway. Once we pass through that initial door, we'll step into a huge vault. I believe Shyazel, the I can't say anything with certainty, but ridding the world of an otherworldly abomination can't hurt, right? Its influence might linger for a time, but the golems should return to normal before too long. Hopefully. One of the stray golems. We might want to sneak past it. Let's be on our way. A word of warning, though. Some of the golems may wander the halls ahead. There shouldn't be many of them. Let's be on our way. A word of warning, though. Almost there. Let's hurry. Let's be on our way. A word of warning. Right. The entrance to the Keyride's gallery should be east of here. Let's set out. Stay on your guard, my friend. These golems can't be reasoned with, and there are lots of them. The Keyrites gallery is in here. Let's head inside. Stay on your guard, my friend. These... Well, this is upsetting. Jeffers' bones. The surge of magicka created by the portals you came through. It must have cracked this sky shard. Without a functioning sky shard, this gate remains locked, and there's no way for us to proceed. Damn! Unless you have a set of enchanting tools and a working knowledge of meteoric empowerment theory, no, there's nothing for it. We need to find a replacement. I saw one in a vault just south of here a few days ago, but it was flanked by one of the island's more powerful golems. Normally, I'd say we should search for another option, but given the circumstances, I think we have to risk it. Of course. Let's not tarry too long, though. It's a monstrous sentinel called a gargoyle. I've never seen one fight, but by all accounts, they are far more powerful than the golems we've faced thus far. Giant clusters of meteoric glass. They fall from Aetherius, charged with raw and very potent magicka. Mages use sky shards in all kinds of rituals and experiments. We Dureni use them as a power source. All right. Do you see that vault to the south? The sky shard is there. I don't know why, but sky shards tend to fall in inconvenient places. Just one of Tamriel's cruel jokes. Let's snatch it up quick. I don't know why, but sky shards tend... There it is! The sky shard! There's the sky shard! We'll have to bring down that stone guardian if we want to reach it. Roll to the side! Well fought! Grab the sky shard and let's get moving. What? Did you just absorb the energy of that shard? Incredible. Not quite what I intended, but we can work with this. Let's head back to the gate. should hurry back to the gate. We don't have the Sky Shard, but we do have a spark of ethereal energy. That's the important bit. All right, moment of truth. Focus on the Sky Shard aperture. With any luck, it'll respond to the power you absorbed and unlock the gate. Even a spark of ethereal energy should be enough to open the way for us. Reach out to the Sky Shard, and let's hope it responds. Ha! You did it! Let's speak for a moment. I'm afraid we've reached the really scary bit. The Daedric creature responsible for all these portals waits just beyond that gate. If you have any other preparations to make them now. Again, I'm just a scholar, but I'd encourage you to remember what we practiced before. Keep moving, strike true, and exploit any opening the creature gives you. Come on then, let's face this thing before I lose my nerve. There it is! Send it back to oblivion! Remember what you learned before. Send this creature back to oblivion.
Kill what cannot die.
You did it! Hopefully the gallery wasn't too badly damaged. Follow me! Well, that was thrilling. Now, we should make our way to the central chamber of the Keyrites Gallery. By all the stars! Look at the central column. I had no idea it was concealing something like this. Let's get a closer look. Well, that was thrilling. Now, we should make our way to the central chamber of the Key. This is the Keyrites Gallery, but not as I remember it. Now I see why we never managed to unlock the gates. Their power comes from this arcane helix. Amazing. With the helix exposed, these gates can finally reopen. Perhaps not all of them at first, but enough to reach most of TutorIal. The question for you, I suppose, is where to first? Can you believe this? Just look around. With this arcane helix exposed, the chamber is positively crackling with magic. The Keyrites Gallery has come to life, and I finally think I know why. Because of you. Matters in Tamriel are bleak. War rages in Cyrodiil. Daedric princes conspire. Dragons ride the winds of elsewhere. The Second Era needs a savior. I believe the Gallery, perhaps even the Adamantine Tower itself, chose you. The Keyrites Gallery opened doors to every corner of Tamriel, places I suspect that desperately need a hero's aid. This choice is yours to make, but wherever you choose to go, I'm sure adventure awaits. May the stars protect you. So, have you chosen where to go? What region of the world strikes your fancy? Not everyone gets to pass instantly from one side of Tamriel to another, you know. This is quite a gift. What, me? No, I've got work to do. The Cinderil will want every bit of this place searched and studied. Since I did the discovering, I'll probably end up leading the effort. Adventure abroad sounds all well and good, but my place is here. Well, fate's sort of a clumsy way to put it. No offense. Honestly, we may never know why you were chosen. But I believe there was intention here. Something, whether it be the stars, the gallery, or the tower itself, placed you here for a reason. Perhaps it followed you to prevent you from reaching your, well, destiny sounds a bit too grandiose. Let's just say to stop you from reaching your potential. Then again, maybe the power of this place brought you here to stop Shayazel. Probably not. But what's a life without unanswered questions, right? Boring, if you ask me. Ha! An elf can hope. Answering that question will probably keep me occupied for the next 100 years. Is the helix connected to the Adamantine Tower? How does it perceive distant corners of Tamriel? I may never understand it, but I'll do my best. It is a bit overwhelming, isn't it? The whole of Tamriel stretched out before you. We could start with the political considerations. 3 great alliances vie for control of Cyrodiil. Does the fate of the Pact, Covenant, or Dominion interest you? Excellent. You can visit Stros Mackay and Daggerfall Covenant territory, an island called Kanathi's Ruse that the Aldmeri Dominion set its eyes on, or the Ebonheart Pack's domain. I don't blame you. Interprovincial intrigue is the basis of my whole profession, and even I find it tiresome after a while. I suppose that widens the map a bit. Well, as I said before, threats to TutorIal have grown like weeds practically everywhere. Would you prefer to spend time among my elven kin, the Khajiit of elsewhere, or men of the north and south? If you take the gate to Vardenfell, you can meet the Dark Elves, and maybe even the God King, Vivek. You could also travel south to Somerset Isle, our ancestral home and the primary seat of power for the High Elves. Squeezing information out of the Dark Elves is delicate business. To be honest, we know far less about what's going on in Morrowind than we should. I can tell you that Vivek put out a summons for heroes recently. That's worrying. Excellent. You can... I don't blame you. Well, as I said before, threats to TutorIal have grown like... If you take the gate to Always. Though the natives don't make it easy. High Elves of Somerset don't share the Durrani's pragmatism. They're often too proud to ask for help. But our agents reported some strange activity around the Crystal Tower. It's probably worth a look. According to our spies, the land of the catfolk is in sorry shape. Imperial holdouts sit upon the throne and a rage of dragons spilled out of the halls of Colossus, burning everything in their path. If it's adventure you seek, you'll find it there. Certainly. One of these gates appear to go to Western Skyrim, a hermitical kingdom of Nords led by King Svargrim. The other leads to Blackwood, at the southern tip of Cyrodiil. Imperial remnants rule there. The Nords of Western Skyrim are inhospitable, to put it lightly. Even so, we've been able to glean a few things. I've read reports about increased vampiric activity in the region. Never a good sign. They need stout adventurers to deal with it. According to our spies, the land of the catfolk is in sorry shape. Imperial holdouts sit upon the throne and a rage of dragons spilled out of the halls of Colossus, burning everything in their path. If it's adventure you seek, you'll find it there. Certainly. One of these... Our agents are investigating a handful of strange Daedric structures hidden away in the swamps near Gideon and Leowyn. I honestly couldn't tell you how they got there, but the presence of Daedric anything in TutorIal is always cause for concern. So, have you chosen where to go? What region of the world strikes your fancy? It appears this one leads to Bleak Rock, a frigid Nord holding, north of Eastmarch. For this gate to choose such a remote location, something important must be taking place there. The gallery is beckoning you to face it. Ready to brave the cold? Stros Mackay. It's a fascinating island with rich Dwarven and Redguard history. Alas, it's been largely overrun by pirates. If the gallery elected to open a portal to the island, something extraordinary must be occurring there. So, ready to set out? That's Kanathi's Roost, a Khajiiti isle with emerging ties to the Aldmeri Dominion. Sea elves have been flexing their muscles in that part of the Topal Bay. Competing interests could lead to bloodshed. Someone like you could set things right. When the
We submit to your will and call forth the chains of cold.
They're performing a ritual, preparing the way for a dark anchor.
Opening rift to oblivion.
It's worse than we thought. The plane melt has begun.
The portal's reach from our side to theirs. That means there is a traitor.
Perhaps it was simply arrogance. Perhaps it was all part of his grand scheme. Who can know the logic of a Daedric prince?
Claims it fulfills a prophecy in those wretched scrolls of his.
Imagine seeing your nemesis succeed where you failed.
Let the way be opened!
I am patient.
Let the will of Prolog Val be denied!
This world will one day be mine.
This portal leads to Vardenfell. Fascinating, given that the Dark Elves only recently opened it to outsiders. Our spies indicate there might be something wrong with the Dunmer's God King, Vivek. Anything capable of that is a threat to everyone.
It is written, my Vardenfell, my paradise.
Be wary, traveler. Pilgrims have been attacked on these roads.
At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles.
It attacked our camp last night, tore poor Ilva's head off, right in front of me.
You must hunt it. You must kill it.
Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another.
These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for
Lies
Vivek.
upon lies! Does it give them pleasure to invent reasons to bring us harm?
I'm not sure they deserve to be saved, but that's what we have to do.
I don't need you starting a blood feud.
Sometimes the great gear turns from frustration to opportunity.
Somerset Isle, the ancestral home of all elves. Fair warning, our cousins in the Aldmeri Dominion can be a prickly bunch. But our spies indicate something is amiss at the Crystal Tower. They need an outsider's perspective. Someone like you.
I used to guide travelers all over this coast, from Korgrad to Alanor. But then those vile creatures started swarming ashore.
Ink is barely dried on the Queen's decree, and there are already more of you than I can count.
I refuse to deal with one of the Queen's guests, especially not in my own home.
Suddenly the ground opens, spewing water and strange creatures.
The Order has detected a number of irregularities on Tamriel. Small breaches in the fabric of
I
time.
ask you to look into one threat, and you bring me a multitude.
Rumors have reached the Queen, and she's concerned.
Between strange geysers and sea monsters, this island is as bad as the continent.
Let the cat fight those monsters! I'm getting out of here! The island sprung a leak! Run!
This portal leads to elsewhere. The home of the catfolk is well worth visiting, especially in light of recent events. Reports indicate that dragons re-emerged there. Dragons? Hard to believe, but it's true. The Khajiit could definitely use your help.
The dragon returns! Take cover!
Toothy jaws, claws as long as grain size, and wings so wide they blot out the sun. What it did not eat, it burned.
Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without
We
any.
will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The usurper queen feels secure in Rimming.
Why come to me about the dragons?
We're about to change that.
What happens next is your own fault.
I suggest you go and bow before Queen Euraxia before she has you thrown to the dragons.
Western Skyrim, a cold place inhabited by colder people. They may disagree, but those Nords need fresh perspective. A group of vampires have mounted a shadow invasion. I hesitate to think on what they're planning. If anyone can stop them, it's you.
A storm straight out of Moloch's guts rose up as I returned from patrol. It twisted everyone I know into monsters.
It's a bit harder to think.
The skin,
to talk.
the eyes.
The light gets too bright sometimes.
The only threat to the west are those damn spies from eastern Skyrim, conspiring against our king.
Then next you come before me to vomit up your counsel. Make sure it doesn't stink of treason.
How many more of his people have to die before he accepts the truth and lets us help him?
You're fools if you think you'll survive this place on your own.
I need you to do what's necessary. Because I won't be able to.
Leads to Blackwood, on the southern border of Cyrodiil. I read an intelligence report about a series of high-profile murders with links to the region. Daedric mischief, too. A warrior like you could do some real good there.
I knew I felt something strange, like glass shattering in the distance.
Murdered, and so close to the city gates.
Keep your voice down. Do you want to start a panic?
Until we know more, I'm not prepared to engage in an all-out war with the Dark Brotherhood.
Too many times dry-skins have come to our swamps in an attempt to claim them. These Imperials seemed no different.
I had a vision of a shadowy figure. It was a robed and hooded cultist. It was brief and powerful, over in a moment, but the figure felt evil.
Who are these cultists? And how well do you trust your masters in Leowin?
You there! The Ivory Brigade has need of you.
This door leads to High Isle, in the Sisters Archipelago. Our spies believe leaders of the Great Alliances will gather there for a peace summit, but this will draw conspirators. They could plunge Tamriel into deeper chaos, unless you stop them.
High Isle feels so peaceful most of the time. That's why I like it here, a respite from all the chaos of the mainland.
The temperature of the islands is quite unique. It facilitates all sorts of strange and beautiful things.
Some precious cargo was supposed to sail in on the morning tide, but it never arrived.
The people need to believe we have things under control.
Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived.
I believe a knight should not be measured by the worth of their weapon, but by the allies they keep.
These manifestations of the island's fiery hearts reveal the majesty and power of the natural order.
Nature itself has fallen out of balance.
Storm and fire will bring down the old machines.
Over here, I could use your help.
This door leads to the Telvanni Peninsula in eastern Morrowind. The wizards of House Telvanni are known for secrecy and intrigue, but a shadow looms over all of them. A shadow filled with emerald eyes. Be cautious, adventurer.
Why does a Telvanni do anything? Ambition, power, greed.
I've heard they formerly used the island to house the mentally unstable and magically insane.
Some, most likely fanciful sources, say the entire geography of this place is made from the ashes of the ancient Dunmer.
I've never turned away the families of the dead before. If the rumors about illness are true...
To a Telvanni master such as myself, everyone is a spy and a threat.
In a place like this, you don't always need a reason for betrayal.
Every secret and all knowledge finds its way to Apocrypha in time.
I see all that is, was, and will ever be.
In desperation, all things consume one another.
Fate needs you, Proxy. This door leads to Westweald in southwestern Cyrodiil. An area of wealth and prosperity, Westweald faces increasing tension. Between a fringe wood elf cult and the native Colovians, a cataclysmic confrontation approaches. Will you investigate?
It was the damnedest thing. In a flash, the rolling hills and vineyards were replaced by a thick jungle. And then those wood elves moved in and established the city of Vashabar. You can imagine why the Count is concerned.
A forest springs out of nowhere and covers a third of the Weald and no one does anything? What's the Legion waiting for? An all-out attack on the city?
Tree creatures and animals attacked. They came out of nowhere and started killing everyone.
Do you feel it? The power of the aliens pervades this place.
Daedric incursions from a realm called Miramor are laying waste to the countryside.
My mind is a storm of images and voices and memories. I can see every reality all at once. The many paths. The affairs of Daedric princes are kind of beyond my jurisdiction as a Legion Tribune. But if they threaten Westweald, they're going to answer to me.
Ah, there you are. I have been expecting you.